biggest choice in the game. Do we sacrifice Chloe or do we sacrifice Arcadia Bay? Hello everyone, welcome back to Life is Strange. This is the very final episode of Life is Strange, the very end of episode 5, Polarized. We have made our way out of the nightmare to the very top of the lighthouse, and we have come to the conclusion that the only way to save Arcadia Bay will be to kill Chloe. But if we want Chloe to live, then we'll need to sacrifice everyone else. So this is the point where we have to make a choice. And we can't rewind on this one, obviously, because as soon as we pick something, we have committed to that. Throughout the entire story, we have been going through a whole big series of decisions to try and undo or try and prevent the storm from wiping out Arcadia Bay. But it all started because we took a picture of a butterfly and then discovered that Chloe was going to be killed by Nathan. So our objective in the game was technically to save Arcadia Bay, except we were also trying to save Chloe at the beginning. So we were trying to do two things at once, but now we have to pick between one or the other. Now, of course, on my channel, I'm not just going to leave up one of these choices. Whichever choice I go with, I will show on screen and then leave the other option in the description if you want to go and check that out as well in an unlisted video. So that will be there if you're interested. Time to think. Do we sacrifice Arcadia Bay and keep Chloe? So it's me and Chloe and then see the entire thing get destroyed? Or do we sacrifice Chloe, saving Arcadia Bay, leaving things how they were supposed to be left in the first place? That's the choice that I went with originally when I played this game. And the reason that I made that choice was because mainly because Chloe gets killed at the very beginning of the game, and if we had not ever gotten the ability to rewind time, then things would have just continued on normally from that. It's as if nothing had ever happened. But if we sacrifice Arcadia Bay, obviously the entire thing just gets completely destroyed, and I have no clue what the heck even happens then. So, as much as I would like to go ahead and sacrifice Arcadia, and sacrifice... It's weird, I have to sacrifice one or the other. I'm used to thinking like saving Chloe or save Arcadia Bay. But if we sacrifice Chloe, we keep Arcadia Bay. If we sacrifice Arcadia Bay, we keep Chloe. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I probably am. I think that what I'm going to do is go with the other option that I didn't pick when I first played through this game. I'm going to sacrifice Arcadia Bay because I want to see what happens when the tornado hits the place, and I want to see exactly what happens during the cutscene when we are deciding that we're going to keep Chloe alongside us. So I'm going to select Sacrifice Arcadia Bay. If you check in the description, I will have an unlisted video that shows exactly what happens if you sacrifice Chloe.
Max, it's time. Not anymore. Max, I'll always be with you. Forever.
Sunshine for everyone, but as far as I can remember, we've been migratory animals, living under changing weather. Someday we will foresee obstacles through the blizzard, through the blizzard. Today we will sell our uniform, live together, live together.
Episode 5, Polarized, has just finished, so it is still kind of a happy ending in the sense that Max and Chloe do get to go on their road trip, but we don't see anything that happens with any of the other characters, which is a shame. It's a shame that there isn't really any conversation that goes on between Max and Chloe, or between them and anyone, if there even is anyone. Did everyone there die apart from us just because we were on the lighthouse? The choice that I made, it was not the one I would go with morally, not at all, but I don't regret going for it because I went with that choice out of curiosity, because that's what I do when I play games. I like to see all of the different things that can possibly happen in games, especially like this. And in games like this, where the storyline is more or less the same as you play through it, there are still different choices that you can go with that will affect how the story plays out, and your game experience will still differ depending on the choice that you make. So, what have I thought of this game as a whole? I think it's been great. I've loved being able to play through this, get quite into the story. It's a very engaging and immersive story. But the one thing that I would say about it that I don't particularly like is that when you play through it the second time, is that the storyline is exactly the same. Yes, you have the ability to rewind time. Yes, you have the ability to influence the future by picking different things earlier on in the story, but all it really does is unlock different lines of dialogue with certain characters and different choices, which in return just get recorded and it just said you did one or the other, rather than a different storyline, a completely different ending based off the choices that you made at the very beginning of the game. If you imagine the storyline as a completely straight line, the different choices go up and down, and depending on your choices, it will go up or down. And what I would like to have kind of seen is more of a tree, I guess. The first choice that you make is just one stick that goes upwards, and then you hit multiple choices later on which will go off into all different pathways, which could lead to many, many more outcomes, rather than it coming back to the exact same finish with one or the other. Regardless of how you play this game, whether Kate lives or Kate dies, it doesn't matter who you blame, who you talk to, you come to the end of the story and you have to kill Chloe, or you have to kill everyone in Arcadia Bay, and that is that. There's no going around that. That's the way that the story plays out. But I'd say that for what it is, I quite enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it as well? I'm curious as to what you thought of the game. Having now played through the entire of it, I've had some critical points to make about it. I'm sure that there would be many more to come if I had more time to think about it, but I am not a game reviewer or a game critic. I'm just here to play games and have fun, more or less, and share my experience with others, because that's what I like to do. Like, I record games that I enjoy playing, where I can share that experience with others, but also act kind of like a guide or a walkthrough when it comes to games. Sometimes I just like to play through games blind because it's fun and the experience is fun, and sometimes I like to play through a game showing all the smaller things, the minor things, and what you can do to 100% things. I won't 100% all games, but I'll 100% some. And this was one that I've played all the way through, got everything in, and then went, I can play that. And it was also because Life is Strange Before the Storm came out as well. Not recently, I wouldn't say recently, because I think it came out at the end of last year, in 2017, I can't remember exactly what month it was. But Life is Strange Before the Storm is a prequel to this game that came out recently, and I would like to play that. I've already got that game, and I haven't actually played any of it at the moment, just because I want to go into that game blind. So that game, now that I've revealed that I will be recording that game and playing through it, I'll be playing through that blind. I might get some guides up as to where certain photos or smaller things are located. I don't even know if there are going to be photos. I'm just assuming that there are going to be things throughout the chapters that we can find, unlock, look at, that will go to our progress to 100% the game as well, so that we can play through both Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm achieving 100% in both of those games. But it would be different because I would have not experienced any of it. I've heard a bit about the game, but I don't know what the storyline is, so I guess we'll kind of see how we go with that. I don't really have much more to say here, so I'm not really going to bother going through all of the rest of the credits. We're just going to skip this, go back to the title screen, and we can go through all of our choices. I'm not going to go through them one by one, but I might just show them to you, just so that you can pause and maybe take a look at them. If you've played through the game yourself, compare them to your own. I'm playing on PC, so the percentages might be slightly different if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation. So, yeah. Polarized, can we get back? The major decisions are just here for you, and the minor decisions. Episode 2, minor decisions there, and some of the major decisions there. Episode 3, major decisions. Those are the minors there. Episode 4, major decisions. Minor decisions there. And finally, Polarized Episode 5, major decisions here. We were just in the minority, deciding to sacrifice Arcadia Bay. And the minor decisions here. We have come to the end of our journey in Life is Strange, and it has been fantastic. I've loved playing this game, even though I've played it through twice. That's okay. I've enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed playing it, having other people watching and commenting as well. That's always good. Always good to be able to share my experience with others and listen to other people's thoughts on the game or on the series as a whole. But it is now time that the series has come to an end, so thank you so much for following along and watching through this series. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, be sure to leave a like on this video. Let me know down in the comments what you liked about it, what you wanted to see more of, and if you know anything about Life is Strange Before the Storm, don't you dare spoil it. I refuse to have spoilers on here. If anything looks spoilery, I will delete it and attempt to unsee it. Probably won't work, it'll probably completely ruin it, but oh well. But you know what we're going to be doing next video? We're going to be starting up our journey in Life is Strange Before the Storm. It almost seems like it's a continuation to this series, but no, it's going to be an entirely new series. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next series. Bye!